All right. I heard you guys. I know you guys want Rams content, so here we are. We got the Rams content. We got the gold light in the back. We got the blue light. I'm in my Stafford jersey. I got the Ram hat. What more do you guys want? Oh, wait. You want more. I know what you guys want.
141st overall pick, and they took Jacob Harris from UCF. Tried to tip McShay off to this guy. Remember, Todd, back in the day, this year, he was really catching my eye. I'm back on grinding. He's out having a nickel for every guy. But you look at Jacob Harris, kid was a soccer player. Only played 1 year of high school football. Goes to Florida Gulf Coast. That was where he was verbally offered to go to Florida Gulf Coast to play soccer. Instead, goes to Western Kentucky. He's about 6'4", 190. Now he's 6'5", 220. Was actually talked into playing football. Develops at UCF gradually. Learned a lot from Gabriel Davis in 2019, and this year he put up numbers. You go to the East Carolina game, 5 catches, Tulane a couple catches for 96 yards, Cincinnati a couple catches for 66 yards. He's up to 6'5", 219 now. Ran 4.39 vertical. You're talking about 40 and a half, 11.1 broad jump. There's a lot to work with Jacob Harris. Now he's settling into football. He's in his 6th year. Was Western Kentucky, then UCF. He's played special teams. Josh Heupel raved about his competitiveness, what a hard worker he was. You're talking about on special teams, then the receiver scout team his first year. This kid paid his dues at UCF, and he became a major contributor.
You want Jacob Harris content. How do I know this? Because I'm asked this every single time I go live. Every single time I have a live stream, any single time I post, when are we going to get Jacob Harris content? When? When is it going to happen? Here's your video. This is my video on Jacob Harris. This is not a breakdown of any sorts. This is just kind of reacting to the hype. And I just want to say, Jacob Harris is extremely interesting to me. He was interesting to me when the Rams drafted him. I felt like he was a little bit of a project. Probably could have gone like the 6th round. They ended up taking him at 141st overall in the 4th round. This is a guy that just absolutely is off the charts in every metric you can look at. I mean, you're seeing it right now, you know, his broad jump and his vertical and his 3-cone drill, which would have been the best 3-cone drill of any receiver. The Rams drafted an athlete that can play special teams. This is a guy that played 1 year of high school football. He was mainly a soccer player. He was at Florida Gulf Coast. He was at Western Michigan. He didn't play a ton at UCF, and he's still developing. He's still growing. But when you have glowing reports coming out of camp from Sean McVay, from Jordan Rodriguez, from pretty much everybody, you have to make a video on it. You have to start addressing it. And the question now remains, when they first drafted him, I thought play him at wide receiver. He has a Mike Evans type of body, all of that. The question remains to me, is this guy going to be the next Megatron? I know that, I hear you. I understand. Don't boo me. Is this guy going to be the next Megatron in Sean McVay's offense? Is this why? Is this why they didn't go after Julio Jones? Is this why they didn't draft Terrace Marshall? Did they look at this guy and pencil him in as their guy? I think they're higher on this guy than the receiver they took in the 2nd round, Tutu Atwell. I think, quite honestly, I might be, because this is somebody that doesn't have to play immediately. But on top of this, he fulfills the biggest need of a Sean McVay offense, because Sean McVay, hate to break it to you, this guy's a top 3 coach in football, but he hasn't figured out how to score consistently in the red zone. That's just a fact. It was a fact with Washington. It's a fact with the Rams. Now you have a guy 6'5". He can go up and he can get it in the red zone. That is going to be my goal line threat. If I'm Sean McVay, I play him every time I'm at the goal line. This guy can play special teams. He can block. They want to move him to tight end. You want to know why they didn't go out and get a big-bodied receiver that can stretch the field like Julio Jones? Because this is the guy. This is literally the guy. He ran a 4.3, a high 4.3. He is 6'5", 219 pounds. They are molding him into just an unstoppable weapon, like a Darren Waller, like a Travis Kelce, like a George Kittle. They're going to develop him. This is why we're getting glowing reports. And so when you look at what he did in college, he had the 3-touchdown game against South Florida you see this guy can explode, and he can explode with Dillon Gabriel. And don't get me wrong, I think Dillon Gabriel's a solid prospect and has a chance to be an NFL starter someday. We'll see. I'm not ruling that out. But what I will say is that he doesn't need Dillon Gabriel. He can make guys better. He can make quarterbacks better with his in-air adjustment to the football, his contortion of his body, which is great. But the Rams happen to have one of the best quarterbacks in football in Matthew Stafford. And I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing a Matthew Stafford jersey. I'm saying that because he's been a secret superstar in Detroit. And so now you add Matthew Stafford to the mix. You have guys like Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell, Van Jefferson, Deshaun Jackson, Ben Skowronek. You know, they like him a lot. But Jacob Harris, this is that guy. If they know how to develop him, if they do develop him, and he can be a multi-guy. He can play tight end. He can play wide receiver. He can be a split end. He can be, you know, an inline guy. If they can make this work, when guys like you hear Daniel Jeremiah saying this is one of the best picks in the draft, things along that nature, this is why they said that. This is why. And when you're seeing it in camp, guys, he's in shorts. He's in a jersey. He's not wearing a helmet. He's not wearing pads. But the physical freak ability that he has is there, and coaches are seeing that. And the most important thing when you're drafting a player, you need to make sure they're intelligent, football intelligent. I'm not saying go to Harvard. I'm saying, could you teach a school on football? Are you like, does it come to you? X's and O's. We don't have to worry about that because everybody raves about Jacob Harris and how quickly he's getting everything. So I might have been wrong. 141st overall, this guy and Jacob Harris from UCF. I mean, he was drafted in the 4th round, so maybe it's not crazy, but this guy might not be a long-term pick. He might be a secret now pick. This is somebody that you're going to turn your TV on to watch in preseason. You have a capable quarterback in John Wolford, and you have Bryce Perkins, and you have another guy that started about 8 or so games in Devlin Hodges. So he's going to get opportunity. So this is great because the Rams have 3 preseason games. The Rams have a deep receiver group. You're going to see these guys in action with legitimate quarterback play, and I'm excited for that. You should be excited for that. And I'm not going to lie. It might be just the overreaction off season, but Jacob Harris, there's a flash to his game, and there's something very important here. He was a soccer player. He doesn't have a ton of experience in the NFL, in football, rather. But the fact of the matter is this: he's catching things quickly. He's a young player that doesn't have all of this crazy, type of hype behind him. He's somebody that was drafted in the 4th round, not the 1st round. So the great thing about him is while he may have been a project, it's not like they took him in the 1st round where all of that pressure is on him. Imagine being Kyle Pitts selected 4th overall. That guy has to perform tomorrow or there's going to be people cutting for his head. But Jacob Harris, is the hype getting out of hand? Is it? I'm not going to say it is because, I know coaches say things, but Sean McVay doesn't just rave about players for no reason. He's the most impressive, he said, in camp. This is a very interesting player. This is a guy I do want you to keep an eye out for. And to be honest with you, I may have been wrong about him. And I'm very, very high on Bryson Hopkins, and I'm high on Tyler Higbee this year. I was not that high on Jacob Harris coming in because I felt like he would be a long-term development. But why can't this guy come in and play right away when he's playing with his instincts, and his football instincts are telling him to do things like what he does in the red zone? This guy, at the very least, could catch 10 touchdowns if they just use him as a goal line threat. Because how are you going up against that? So, yeah, Rams fans, you know what? You've been asking me for my approval on if we can just buy into this hype, if we can actually celebrate getting a guy like Jacob Harris. Do it. By all means, do it. I'm not saying that he's going to be Calvin Johnson, but if this guy works out with the quarterback play, with the veteran presence that's around him, when you look at all these guys that can help him, that can, mentor him, You have one of the best coaches in football. You have a great coaching staff. Whether Yarber wants to get in on it, you know, the coaching with him as the wide receivers coach, or Wes Phillips, either way, he is getting good coaching, and this is somebody that's going to be a problem if he develops. And by problem, he could be dynamic. There are already people talking about that on Twitter. There are already people talking about that on ESPN and what have you. People have been talking about Jacob Harris. He's getting decent hype, and when you look at that size, you look at, obviously, the measurables, the Rams don't just draft guys based on how well they test. So clearly they saw something in him. He was at the top of their special teams coordinator's big board for special teams. So they get a guy in Jake Funk in the 7th round. That's going to be a special teamer. I'm not looking at him to do much as a running back, and he doesn't need to. But Jacob Harris is a very intriguing player here that they're going to be able to use however they want. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the best player from this draft. We will see. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry. I know the majority of my subscriber base are Rams fans. I try to get as much content out as I can. I've been working on this NFL bit, but right now the algorithm is punishing me for it. I'm going to continue doing it, but I'm also going to put out Rams content. We're going to try to do at least 2 videos a day if we can. Probably not, but we'll try. But again, thank you guys. If you like this, be sure to subscribe. If you haven't already, hit this like. See the thumbs up, hit the like button, and drop a comment. Let's discuss. What are your thoughts? How well do you think Jacob Harris will do in the NFL? Let me know below. Is he Calvin Johnson, or is he more like Fendi Onabun? If you don't know who Fendi Onabun is, he didn't really do anything, and that's probably why you don't know who he is. So that's going to do it for me. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.